Alright, so it's 9 o'clock a.m. I just got enough energy to move around. I don't know what happened yesterday. I have like barbs in my hand for some reason. It's like when I handled that dragon fruit or that red berry that comes off the cactus. Even though you get those big spikes off, there's still the tiny barbs, the tiny things that get lodged in your skin. I got that feeling in a couple spots in my hands. Something, I don't know what I handled. It couldn't be this book that I got. Read and Return. I really enjoy watching the clips of Game of Thrones on the YouTube. But I never paid for any shows. I never needed to watch a full episode. If a full episode would have been available on YouTube, I would have watched it. The clips were fine. They explained a lot. I kind of understand what's going on in this book compared to the clips I watched. Yeah, I got a cold that started last night. It might have come on from the food bank food I had. As vegetable mix with the beef chunks, and it sat in the car for a little bit. After I cooked it, I was able to cook it. It tasted okay. It's quite a cold. I haven't been doing too much again, much less than I normally don't do, because of the rain. There's quite a bit of rain, so it's a setback for activity. It's so disappointing. When I go to the library, I expect to... Alright, there's not much I can do. I don't know why I hang out at the library so much around here. It's like they block Hearthstone all over, from Veneta to the Springfield. They don't block it in Cresswell though. That's pretty cool. I don't really want to hang out in Cresswell though. But all the government Wi-Fi sources, they block, and around Eugene, around their network, they block Hearthstone. So I find myself looking for Walmarts and McDonald's nearby, and just trying to put in a few quick games just to get the daily quest. So right now it's that promotional period where they're giving you a free pack if you complete the quests. I've been extra scared. I think part of the reason I've gotten sick is because I've been extra scared of getting harassed by cops. I've been seeing cops harass more people around this area. Just people regularly parked, and then a homeless guy just hanging out. It looked like a homeless guy with a big backpack hanging out in the parking lot. You know, it's like people who hang out in parking lots, you need to have a car. Because if you look homeless, carless, hanging on a parking lot, that's going to get attention drawn to you. And I believe that somebody called the cops on the guy. I recorded it a little bit. It all happened before me, but nothing too exciting. I'll put it on the other channel sometime. So today, I guess I'm going to have to make it a recovery day. I'm just gonna have to try to just let this cold work its way through. I don't want to push myself now. My umbrella broke. I don't know what I can do to keep it open all the way now. There's this little tiny metal thing that was holding it together that just snapped, and it's still overall pretty good. I've had it for years, it's been slowly kind of like unraveling, I guess. But I've been making repairs to it and accepting some damage to it. But this most latest one, I have to hold my hand all the way at the top so that it stays open. But it's a good wide one, and I don't really want to buy another one. I want to save my money as best I can. Even though I'm foolish enough to buy this look at this spiky football thing, $12. It's a vibrator, and I enjoy playing with it. I've never seen them at Walmart before until recently. I don't know if it's a localized thing, or Walmart seems to be rolling out new fitness stuff every year, new fitness things. Like I seen the Theracane, a cheap knockoff version of the Theracane, which was tempting. I considered it. I was like, I enjoyed the Theracane, but yeah, I just didn't want to carry that. But this vibrator, this is pretty neat. The foot massager, but I'll just call it the vibrator. I haven't used it on my foot. Let me just say that. I don't see the value of using it on the foot. For the first time, I forget where I got these Spanish peanuts. You don't see Spanish peanuts roasted without salt anywhere. I forget where I saw it, but I jumped on the Spanish peanuts and bought a bunch of them just for a bit of variety, because I consume a lot of peanuts. Bags, grocery bags, they cost money in Eugene. I think it's 5 cents, but in Springfield they're free. Okay, it's Eugene. It's not a statewide thing like California. The whole state of California will charge, but it's city by city, and Eugene is a city that charges. Still using this thing to clean under my nails. It's really nice. Nice little nail cleaner. It's like a letter opener, just a smaller version that you can fit in between your knuckles. So yeah, just been wasting time trying to read. I really haven't been able to get to the end of any particular book. Like, I'm reading my public administration book, but it just puts me to sleep. Great ideas and all that, but it's so difficult to get through. I'm glad that of the lessons. I'm thankful for the lessons that I'm able to take about government and the operation of it, and how it's just not so perfect. But it's definitely not an eye-opener like this book. But even though this book is an eye-opener, it's all fiction. It's all fake. I really could use more real. I mean, there's this Game of Thrones. It's like, it's very similar to the history that I have read, historical accounts and all that. It's like from the Spanish Armada and the Lewis and Clark Journal, and there's a lot of historical similarities, but then they talk about the whites, and just, I don't know, it's a little far-fetched, Game of Thrones, but very real and raw too, because this is the kind of stuff that's very similar to what was going on in our history. Oh man. So I have a pretty good internet connection and all that. It's just I stopped at a museum yesterday, and that was free. It was pretty cool. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? I never really hit any food banks in Eugene. It's been mainly the cities outside of Eugene that I could hit. There's just some that are just too many homeless people hanging around the local. And then northwest, like right in the northwest part of Eugene seems to be the worst part of Eugene. Just want to keep my distance from there. And then all around Eugene in general is just so darn busy. I just wanna get through it, look around, and get out quickly. Just because it's way too active. Even Cresswell was a little busy, a little more relaxed, but a little busy too. I did get a little tightness around my appendix area, but I think that it seems to spearmint tea is able to knock that out a little bit, and that was recommended as spearmint tea. I should be making more spearmints. It's just spearmint is not as something that's available in stores as peppermint. Peppermint is a little different. So that's it. I just kind of thinking through. So okay, today I want to eat, but I don't want to eat because of my cold. I like eating, and I usually do eat through a cold, just anyway, even though you're supposed to starve a cold. I want to eat it. I want to get a gallon of milk and then have more cereal and stuff. I'd really like to be able to cook some potatoes. I think I might try to do that. That requires me to sit in the car and park in special places and sit in the car and do it. I could probably get away with it on the spot that I've been using. I don't want to stick around this area too much longer. Maybe just through the weekend or so, and then head out. Car seems just to have that hydraulic leak. I've heard some weird noises that I've never heard before in the engine at times. I'm looking at a pretty big drive, and I went on to Craigslist, and I was the next city over. I was going to advertise that I need a mechanic. Let me get some names together here, and so I could just consider my options when I get there. And here, I put out the ad, and then it comes back, I have to pay $3 now. And I was like, what? I never had to pay before to put it in gig section. So I asked the help section and the discussion forum, and they're like, yeah, it started March 15th. They started charging $15 for all the gigs. And then they insult you, of course, because it's Craigslist discussion forum. They're like, well, you're not supposed to be advertising for car work in the gig section. It's none of that is for that. You're supposed to go to the service section, where that's where the mechanics, the shade tree mechanics, are supposed to be advertising. And apparently there are some ads. So I guess, they're trying to make me look like a fool for having advertised. And I'm like, well, I never got flagged before or anything, but for putting ads, car repair ads in the gig section. I was putting them under labor, but I'm not going to advertise. I'm not going to pay $3 to advertise, because I was intending to do that with every city. But now I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just try to pay attention to the service section, and maybe contact the guys who advertise on the service sections of Craigslist for the next city over and whatever, until I'm like definite. I like the guys that I talked to in person that responded to my ads around this Eugene area, but I just $300 for a couple of guys that I talked to, it seems like a good deal, but I'm like, maybe I could hold off. I don't have a lot of money, and if I could hold on to what I got for a little bit longer, just a little bit longer, then that'll be helpful in case something more serious happens. Because I think I just refill the brake fluid reservoir and be good.